Got Your Back Podstream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at mrdirk.com. Oh yeah, baby. Season 4, episode 1. We are back. Look at these new graphics from Zuby. What the heck? Whole new look, new feel, same old music that you love. Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. First episode of season number 4. We are so fired up for this season. So fired up to get this show going again. We've missed each other, sort of. We've missed you. And man, we're so excited to be rolling again. We're coming at you from our brand new Long Shot studio. Check that. Adrenaline Diesel studio. See, I'm still thinking season 3. Edmonton's premier heavy-duty diesel truck repair shop, specializing in powertrain, tuning, performance, and parts sales. Visit adrenalinediesel.ca. Sorry, Linda. Sorry about that, Linda. We got some people in some new places here in the podcast, but we got lots of our great partners are back. We're so excited, and a brand new title sponsor as well. Our great friends at Play Alberta have stepped up big time this year, and we are proud to have them as our title sponsor. Why choose Play Alberta? Well, just ask any hockey fan who loves the odds boosts, the player props, the same game parlays, or slots. Players who love the massive jackpots, or lottery players who can grab last-minute tickets on the go. Deposit today, get a $50 free bet with code GYB9. That is code GYB9. Visit playalberta.ca. Gonna have a great show tonight. Having lots of fun, and the fellas are all back. Time to check in with them. Jason Strudwick, Rob Brown, Chris Sabunia, Zuby behind the scenes in Kelowna. Guys, first of all, tip of the cap, Zuby, because you put in some production time, buddy. Hey, guys, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg, the new bells and whistles. What do you think, Struddy?
Oh, I'm loving it. I love that he's bringing that much effort to the pod. I know that it sounds like his men's league hockey team will suffer because his glove hand will even be heavier than normal. But, I mean, you're talking about going from a 800 save percentage down to a 75. So what's the difference, really?
I already started working it down a little bit here on Friday. From that massive 974 or something I had from game 1. I think I did still get the W. I think I let in 6 on 35 or something like that, but it was a big 9-6 beer league win on Friday. So.
Brownie, have you ever heard a beer league goalie track his stats as closely as Zuby does? Like, it's unreal.
I never ever met a beer league goaltender. I was up on the other side of center, so a lot of times I didn't know who was playing net for us.
You think
who was that guy tonight? He wasn't bad.
I bet you Zuby wakes his wife up when he comes home to tell her how good he did. Is that confirmed? So let's get your wife on here.
If you know what, if she wasn't getting woken up still a couple times a night, I probably would. I try to give her the update if we're passing like ships in the night while she's going to sleep in a kid's room. Then I tell her, honey, I gotta shut up.
Well, he probably puts it on a little sheet of paper, sticks it to the kid's door. So when she's going in there at night, oh, he made 42 saves tonight. Oh, good boy, good boy.
You know what she says?
We're proud of you.
I don't care.
Hey, Struds, how about your pre-pod snack? I think people would be interested to know what Struddy's pre-pod snack of choice is, Brownie. I have to say, when I saw him chewing, and I was like, what you got going on there, bud? I was stunned at what he showed us, Brownie. Stunned.
Well, I honestly, I can't see anything. Like, seriously, I don't know where you guys are on the screen. I could hear him eating for about 30 seconds before his picture came on air. Whatever he was eating was loud. As anyone that's ever watched Struds, he doesn't close his mouth when he chews. So I didn't see what it was, but it sounded delicious, Struds.
Zuby,
if you had teeth this nice, you wouldn't close your mouth either when you chew.
What is it? The drumstick? Is that what it was? The ice cream drumstick?
My wife actually she bucked up and got Oreo flavored drumsticks.
Oh.
I've never seen them before.
Those
I didn't
are
know
delightful.
They existed.
Yes.
Yeah. So big fan of it.
Nice. So, how was everybody's summer? Like, I mean, we took a nice long break. Zuby obviously spent most of his time in the dungeon there, working on all the new bells and whistles. But, like, I don't know. And we got a good podcast coming up here. We're going to talk about training camp coming up. We're going to check in with Bruce Kurlock. He is at the Oilers prospects tournament, so we're going to check in with him in a couple of segments as well. We got all the old favorites back. We're going to have Brownie points. We're going to have Struddy's World. We're going to have takeaways. We're going to have our DeBoer's poll. Like, all of the old classics are coming back, and we're looking forward to that. So lots of great stuff coming up. But quick summer recap here, Struddy. Like, what was your favorite happening of the summer, gents? Struds?
Like personally, or you mean just to happen in the world?
Whatever, man. Just pick something. What did you
All
love?
right. Well, I was pretty excited when I heard that there was Taylor Swift and Kelsey maybe got engaged. It turned out it was inaccurate. So that was a bit of the high and low point. But my other thing was I went out to Vancouver Island and I did some surfing in Tofino. And I realized that as incredibly a great athlete as I am, I'm not the best surfer. So I wasn't able to get up. I was a little bit too big for my board. I guess I need something bigger than a table.
Yeah.
You come to my lake,
not for the 6'4" guys.
You come to our lake, Stars. I can pull you behind my boat and I can get you up surfing. It's not like the Tofino surfing. You sure you can?
I love to do that. I love to come and ride. How come you never invited me before? Why not invite me in April instead of in September?
I will invite you every September. Just whenever we start the Oilers, I will invite you to come on out and visit me here at the lake. I'm at the lake right now. You could help me clean up and tarp my boat today. It was a sad day at the lake today.
Yeah, that's always teardown day is always tough. We are live on YouTube and on Twitter, guys, and we got some of the old classics back. Some really familiar faces here. JL gets the first comment of the year here, Struds, as we head to the Weiss Johnson YouTube stream. By the way, Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. Hockey season means the cold is coming. If it's time for a new furnace, garage heater, or hot water tank, Weiss Johnson's here for all your home comfort needs, specializing in servicing your existing systems or installing new ones. Get ready to be cozy this Oilers season. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Nice, Zuby. Nice. Okay, so to the YouTube stream. And Zuby, one of the new highlights you've got here is when we want specific ones. Check this out, boys. Zuby can bring it in and show everybody. Can you bring that in? Okay, so JL comes over the top. Facebook Marketplace sales were Struddy's highlights of the summer. Brownie, don't know if you're on Facebook or not with Struds. I can't remember what I was doing, probably golfing, and between holes I'm perusing my phone and I see a set of $30 shelves posted on Facebook Marketplace from Jason Strudwick. Like, Struds, what are you doing?
Well, they're probably worth $35, $36. So I've got them at a discount. They're pre-assembled. So what is assembly worth? That's probably worth another $10. So I'm probably at a $45 hit, and I'm giving them up for $30. I'm still trying to sell them. But I like to sell things on there. I like to sell these things. I like to meet people and sell them online. I've had tons of offers. No one's met the $30 quota. That's the number. The number is 30.
Do you still have those shelves, dude? Do you still have those shelves? Are you kidding me?
I do. Yeah, I refuse to sell them for less than 30.
Oh my God. Dude. Donate the things.
No. I refuse. They're worth $30. I'm selling it for $30, and I'll get my.
Well, two
my
things I've figured out with this little conversation. One, Struds, obviously you're not making enough money on this podcast. If you have to sell
I
shelves.
pay you all the money. All of the money goes to you, Brownie.
And two, Shogger, I know why your handicap is as high it is. You should be concentrating on your next shot, not looking at Facebook Marketplace in the middle of a round of golf. So there's two things that I just solved right there. Strud, you need a raise, and Shogger, you need a caddy that takes your phone from you.
Rye Guy says, autograph the shelves for an extra $1 or $2. Struddy, nice job. I like bringing those comments in.
That might go the other way. They might only be worth $20 then.
Devalue
They can
them.
stand on their own. They can stand on their own. These are quality, guys. These are from IKEA. You know how much I paid for these? Well over $30.
Brownie, what do you got,
Not
buddy?
more
What's
than
your
40.
favorite? What's your favorite summer story, pal?
Our family. I took my kid. I have 23-year-old twins, little boy, little girl. My son lives
Yep.
in Vancouver. He's an actor there now. We went to Disneyland this summer. Went down to Long Beach for a week. My son
Nice.
brought his girlfriend who had never been to Disneyland, and The Browns did Disneyland. It was unbelievable. I went to the new Star Wars one. We went to Universal. Went to Harry Potter Land. I need a raise because Disney is not cheap. It is the happiest place on earth, but it is not the cheapest place on earth. But no, that was my favorite part of the summer, spending a full week with my family in Long Beach in California, doing Disney and all the stuff that has to do with the California lifestyle. So it was awesome.
Yeah, that's great. How's that new Star Wars set up there? That's all new stuff, eh?
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I'm a Star Wars fan, so when you walk into it, everything looks identical from the movies. And then the one ride you go in, like there's 1,000, seems like stormtroopers in there.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil it, but they take you prisoner. But it was pretty cool. I love it. We go. My daughter, she has autism, and once you do something once, you do it every year. So every year we get to go to Disneyland. So it's kind of cool.
Did you see
that's
Spock
awesome.
or Captain Kirk at all? Were they down there?
Oh, Struddy. I don't think too many people on this stream are going to be angry with you, but man, legions of people.
There will be some. There will be some people quite mad at that comment. Yes.
Zoomers, you got a summer story, buddy? Like you pitch a shutout on some random Thursday evening or something, or you got anything? What do you got?
I might have done that. No, it's for me. I was off for lots of the summer. Things only went bananas for me to get this show and one other thing I was working on in the last 3 weeks. So lots of family time. We didn't have a big trip or anything. Disney, I think, is kind of on deck for us. But I did get to take probably the big highlight was I got to take the kids fishing. For their first experience fishing. We fished up on Lake Revelstoke up above the dam there, and they each caught a fish. We caught one nice kokanee and a nice rainbow trout, and they thought that was about the best thing ever. And despite the fact they don't really like fish, they insisted that they were going to eat them, and they did. They ate every last morsel. So that was super fun. They were pumped about it. They couldn't stop talking about it and telling the story. So that was a lot of fun.
Teach the kids to fish, right? They'll eat for a lifetime.
And answering Todd Gack, no stitches this summer. I'm still one stitch ever for my lifetime. So thanks, Todd Gack.
No more stitches, attaboy. That's awesome. Well, for my summer story, I'll ask you guys this question. Have you ever been present when somebody dunked a hole in one? Anybody? Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
3 times.
Who did you have, Struds? 3, Brownie?
My dad did it. Yeah.
Brownie, who were you around for?
Buddies. I've had a couple of buddies. Once in the Hartford, one of the guys on the team, I can't remember which player it was, but he was in our group.
Yeah.
Buddy from back home, this Ron Martins. I was there when he got one just outside of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of the rink. And another buddy too. So I've been at 3. I've never had one, but my father has 2, and he's the worst golfer ever. Worst golfer ever if my dad's watching this. But he's got 2 hole-in-ones, and I'm still searching for my first.
Unreal.
What? That guy has 2 hole-in-ones?
Yeah, Bob Brown. Blazer
Mr.
Bob. He's
Brown.
got 2 hole-in-ones.
God, that makes me want to quit golf.
Should we be saying holes in one? What's the proper grammar on that, by the way? He has 2 holes in one or hole in ones?
I believe it's holes in one.
Whoa.
Holes in one.
You do know that you
never
have
noticed
me
about that.
on this show for my hockey analysis. You do not have me on this show for my English grammar. Okay? I will mess up many words and names.
Back to my
It
point.
is what I say.
On the golf course, so I've never seen anybody get a hole in one, guys. And in a matter of 5 weeks, 2 of my closest golfing buddies dunked holes in one. The first one was my brother Rob. We were playing at Kananaskis, 153 yards, I think it was. That's a picture on the left. Rob and his wife Jamie and Randy and I, they make a nice big deal of it at Kananaskis. Gave him a flag and everything. And then last week, my buddy Keith, who's a big fan of the show, now 14A at Belvedere is where he dunked his. So it's the bonus hole because one of the other holes was closed. So we've got a lot of debating happening. I text Jack Michaels because Jack knows Keith well. I said, look, Keith just dunked one on 14A. And immediately Jack said, well, it's a bonus hole. It doesn't really count. Like it doesn't go down as a 1 on the scorecard. So it's not truly a hole in one. But to have 2 close golfing buddies dunk holes in one in the same summer, guys, that was pretty fantastic. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's a big deal. Like we were running around, jumping around. My brother was almost in tears. I mean, he was like, it was nuts. And then Keith was jumping around. We were high-fiving and dancing. Pretty fun. Pretty good stuff.
Did you honestly see it in, or did you have to hear them yelling while you were checking out Facebook Marketplace?
That's a good point by you. So Rob's was cool because Rob's, we saw it the whole way. It hit and rolled on the green and then dunked. So we were jumping around on the tee box. Keith's was different. You can't see the green, like you hit up to the green. And he hit it was unreal. And I looked at him, I said, that might be in. So we had to get in the cart. We drove up and we didn't see it on the green. I went running over to the hole. I'm like, buddy, and it was in. And he came over jumping around and stuff. So it was two different ways of realizing it, but pretty awesome, pretty fun.
Hey, it is special. Anytime you hit a hole-in-one from the family tees, you should be excited for sure. Like, I get why Keith is so excited. So congratulations, Keith. I'm thrilled for you, really.
Hey, Struddy, do you have any golf stories you'd like to share before we move on? Anything you'd like, any other golfing adventures you had that maybe you'd think the audience would be interested in?
No, so Shogger and I played again, and I wasn't cocky this time. And after 3 holes, I was +2. Shogger was -3. He's never played any better, and he was walking, and we know how walking for him is like crazy, right? It's like Midas pushing that stone up the hill. So in the front, I shot a 39, which for me is really good. He shot a 35. I couldn't believe it. How someone who seemingly looks so athletic is able to get around in the 35. And
one over, right? It's par 34 the front.
I couldn't believe it.
there.
I was blown away. Yeah, he had a great round. And then we both blew up on the back. So ultimately, I think he beat me by 3. But I played well. That's the thing. I played well.
Whatever. Yeah, well, so Brownie, like, I've never played like that before, ever. It was ridiculous. I was like somebody else showed up. And so whatever, I was 35, Struds was 39. And then we both absolutely exploded on the back, like 47 on the back. 12 strokes.
Yeah, those happen. When you hit something that you never done before, now you start thinking. And now you think, oh, I could shoot in the 70s today. Well, I might shoot 74, and then all of a sudden the numbers start creeping higher and higher. I heard about when the poor golfers do that, so I wouldn't know, but I've heard.
Good stuff. Well, summer was wonderful, but we're so stoked to be back, guys, and so great to have everybody back. Special shout out to Steve Taylor as well. He'll be jumping in for a pile of pods this season as well, so we look forward to just Steve joining us. But guys, let's talk a little bit of Edmonton Oilers, shall we? And let's get to our breakdown, brought to you by, we are so proud to have brand new partners. Check this out, Alberta Ram Dealers. The Ram Big Haul event is on now. Get 20% off MSRP on a 2023 Ram 1500 Classic. These things are unreal. The interior in these trucks, off the charts. That's up to $14,000 in total discounts. See your Ram dealer for more details. Thrilled to have Alberta Ram Dealers on board here on Got Your Back. Okay, gents, so we do have the rookie tournament underway. We're going to get to that in a couple of segments when Bruce Kurlock joins us. So we're going to keep our sights a little bit more set on the big club here, guys. Looking ahead to training camp that's going to get going here. Couple of notes heading in. So Darnell Nurse, a little bit nicked up right now, and I think he'll be participating in training camp. I don't know that we'll see him in any of the early exhibition games. So there's that heading in, and then Evander Kane expecting this surgery here, and he'll be out for a number of months. But the question that I want to pose to you guys heading into training camp here is, of the bubble boys, the guys that are kind of on the bubble or the newbies, like, who are you most interested in getting eyes on at training camp and seeing how they kind of assert themselves, Struds, as Oilers for the first time?
Well, there's not much to talk about in the pipes. I think we kind of know where that's probably going to go with Skinner and company, and maybe you've got Olivia Rodrigue pushing in if there's an injury at some point. But I am really, really interested on the back end. Really interested because I think there's so many storylines there. And I think that there's 3 top guys and Kulak. So I don't know if you want to call them the 4 or the 5. Then after that, it's wide open. So I think it's really important for guys like Emberson, Stetcher, Brown, Dermott, all these guys that come in and really show well early to leave a first good impression on this group. Because let's say, maybe Nurse, it maybe carries in regular season. Like we're not sure how this is going to shake out. There is opportunity to play. There's opportunity to get a chance to play. And I can tell you through my own experience, if you're in the lineup, they think maybe you can get it done. And whether it's long or short term, they're giving you a chance. So Brownie, for me, it's the back end. That's where there's the most opportunity, I think, for anyone who's maybe either on a contract or coming in trying to earn one.
Well, I agree with you there. I honestly have not a whole lot of interest on the back end. I don't think the number 4 defenseman is on the Oilers yet. I think that's going to be someone that we get later in the season. I think it's going to be a carousel for a while to start the year. I think all of those guys are going to be pushing for a spot. The fact that there's so many of them shows that the Oilers aren't sure what they're going to do in the back end. To me, my biggest interest is the Oilers' number 2 line. Arvidsson and Skinner playing with Leon. Leon has been by himself a lot over the last year and a bit, with Kane being injured, and at times the chemistry wasn't there. The Oilers went out and got 2 top line players, 2 top 6 players. You got one, Arvidsson, who I thought was the best LA King by far in the series that the Oilers beat them. I love the way he plays. And then you got a guy that in Skinner, who is a goal scorer, who has I don't know if there's a player in the National Hockey League happier than Jeff Skinner. He's got 1,000 games in the National Hockey League without playing in the playoffs. And now he's coming to a team that's favored to win a Stanley Cup. And he's going to be probably playing with the best passer in the world and probably the second best player in the world. So to me, my interest is on watching Leon with his new line mates, Skinner and Arvidsson, if that's what it is, and seeing if they can find some chemistry early, whether it's training camp exhibition or at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I was out at the captain's skates that were happening, and they were testing out that line. The guys were playing together. Quite often, they come together and start skating in lines right away that we see game 1 of the regular season. I know people always think it's goofy for us to read into lines. When it comes to these captain skates, you can read into these lines. 100% you can read into these lines. So I'm going to pick a specific player here a little bit more. And you know what, Zuby, let's do the YouTube poll right now, though, because we want to ask people on the stream what they think as well. So we'll get to our YouTube poll brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Look at this animation. Zuby, fantastic. Helping you play better golf since 99 with their TrackMan fitting bays, instruction, after-sales support, golf merchandise, and clothing. Go down, check out their pro shop style atmosphere at 5311 99th Street here in Edmonton. Spent lots of time with Scotty and Al and the entire crew down at DeBoer's. Zuby, what do you got for a poll tonight, buddy? And then I'll answer who I'm keeping an eye on.
Well, it was kind of right up the alley of what you fellas were just talking about. The wording of the poll is, which quote-unquote bubble newcomer, of the bubble newcomers, who are you most curious to see at camp? We got Podkolzin, we got Savoie, Amberson, or the fourth wide-open other, if there's someone else who appeals to you. But that's the DeBoer's YouTube poll question for tonight.
All right, so let us know what you think, and we'll get to some of your responses in our Ask Us Anything, and we'll reveal the results. Emberson, I wouldn't, and I'm the one that picked those names, but I wouldn't really put him in the bubble category. Chances are he'll be on the team here. But guys, the guy that I'm going to go with is Vasily Podkolzin, because Brownie, you talk about that second line. Here's the thing: there was going to be some pressure on that second line. Certainly on Skinner anyways, for ice time on that second line. I believe that pressure was going to come from Dylan Holloway. But as I look at what the Oilers have here, I just don't see anybody that's going to really put that upward pressure on Skinner to be in that position. Now, maybe late in the year, if and when Evander Kane comes back, he's a guy that could potentially. But Podkolzin is a guy that I'm interested in because he has offensive pedigree. I mean, he was drafted as an offensive player, high pick, and onto his second organization here. I just wonder where he's going to fit in. Is he going to come in and play well and get some attention, or are we going to be talking about this guy as a third or fourth line left winger? And as time goes on, if he gets a bit of a foothold with this coach, is he a player that they could bring in to push for some minutes with some more skilled players, right? That's what they lost in Dylan Holloway when they went and got Podkolzin. Not the same caliber to me, but a guy that I just wonder, Struds, as he arrives here, can he make some noise for himself in the early going and get some traction?
As we haven't even touched training camp, I'd have a hard time thinking that Paul Colson would be able to push Skinner out from beside Leon Draisaitl. Like I think that
I mean, eventually, you know what I'm saying.
Maybe that's your first reach of the year. You know, I didn't think it would happen on September 15th, and I'm sure I'll have one. I'm sure I'll have one too. So I'm not picking on you, Schauger, but that feels like a real reach. I think that Skinner's going to get a long look beside Leon Draisaitl, and same with Arvidsson in there. But he is an interesting player because, I checked in with a few people in Vancouver, and they say he's a fantastic guy, just struggles with confidence at time. And what NHLer hasn't struggled with confidence? So how does Chris Knobloch find a spot for him that can maximize his skills and what he brings, but also help him find confidence? And so I don't know who that's going to be beside or where that's going to look. I think it's somewhere in the bottom six more than the top six. So Brownie.
For sure.
Well, I agree. I don't even think Dylan Holloway was going to push Skinner. I don't. Skinner was brought in here for a reason because they didn't feel Dylan Holloway was good enough to do it. That's why Skinner's here. So Skinner is going to be playing with Leon Draisaitl, and I have full confidence he's going to be good there. I mean, he is a very good hockey player that's got a little bit more incentive this year because he's playing on a team that's going to the playoffs. So I don't know where this young kid from Vancouver is going to play. It'll be fourth line at best. But the Oilers went out and picked up two very important pieces to play with Leon Draisaitl. And there's going to be players that are going to be searching for ice time, but it's going to be in the bottom six. Their top six is pretty well set. And I think it's going to be set for, unless something completely falls apart, which I don't think it will.
Or injuries.
Obelisk 21 says give Shoggy a break without Holloway on the team. He needs a new young guy to champion. It's not about that, Obelisk. I just wonder where his trajectory will take him. He's a skilled player that's trying to get a foothold, and who knows, maybe a new coach unlocks him. Maybe a different situation unlocks him a little bit. And because of his pedigree and his skilled background, I just wonder in what ways he might be able to push. But definitely a stretch to think he's going to get that done anytime soon. I'm just interested to see how he looks and how he fits in. Struds, you brought up the blue line. And listen, we've got a couple of weeks before the regular season start to beat all this stuff around. But, to me, it is by a mile the biggest issue this team has. Not even close. I think their blue line is a pretty significant issue. Now, there are those who believe they'll be able to let it ride with what they've got until the trade deadline, and there are those that believe they need to go and find something more meaningful right away here. Struds, do you think the best six blue liners that they have to ice right now is going to do until trade deadline time?
Well, I think they can. Okay, well, first off, let me say this. I don't think that the blue line's an issue. I think the second right D is an issue. I think the rest will sort it out. I think the rest there's quality there. Will it make it do till the trade deadline? I think that the Oilers are in a position that whenever the trade presents itself, they'll be able to pull the trigger. They don't need now to move out money to bring someone else in. I think that was probably the idea behind it. Now, when can it become a problem? If one of their top 3D get hurt, now you've got a problem because you're without two of your top 4D. Now Kulak can get up there and play. But that's where, because like if let's just say Nurse is out for the first month. I don't have any idea. Doesn't sound like that's going to, but let's say now you really have a wild card, a group of four in the bottom, and maybe you got to split up at Coleman and Bouchard to spread the love around. So, are they good enough to make the playoffs without that? Yes, I think they are. But I think that they can figure out what it's going to look like, Brownie, to bring the guy in they need when it's ready and when that opportunity presents itself. And I have no idea when it's going to present itself, but they'll definitely address it.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with everything you just said there. I think the Oilers are in no rush. I think they can wait for the perfect fit for them. I do believe the 6 that they have, or the 8 or 9 or whatever they have, are good enough to have them set up. They can win a division with the defense that they have right now. That's how good they are up front. I think they're going to look for as Strud said, a right shot defenseman to play in their second pairing, but they're not in a rush to do it. It could, who knows? It could be by the end of training camp. All of a sudden there's a trade to be made. It could be in February, but I think the Oilers are a good enough hockey club to wait for the right fit instead of trying to go out and chase something down just because. So I think the Oilers are in a really good position right now. So I agree with in day one of our first episode, I agree with everything that Jason Strudwick just said.
Finally.
Ty Emberson, Troy Stetcher. Neither guy would have been in the lineup in the playoffs last year. And now they're both suddenly in the Oiler lineup. One of them is going to be playing top 4 minutes. When you're playing against other top 10 teams in the league, which is a lot of nights, that's going to be problematic. It's going to be problematic. And so while I agree they're a playoff team, and while I agree that chances are it'll be okay, I also think this could be a problem, guys. This could get in their way a little bit. You want to get off to a good start. We saw what happened last year when they didn't. And night in, night out, the guy you got to throw
but they didn't get
over-
off to a good start last year. They went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The start doesn't matter.
Well, but I mean, the season
Doesn't matter.
It was a disaster, Brownie. You can't have that happen
They went to
again. You
Game
need to
7 of
be-
the Stanley Cup Finals. What do you mean it was a disaster?
I don't know, Struds. Does it matter? Do you not think that it's really important for them to ice a good team and make sure they don't crap the bed for the first month and a half?
I
Doesn't
honestly feel
matter?
this team. I think this team is stronger than the team we saw to start last year, and probably before it finished. Now, if Nurse is hurt, it's a different conversation. And Kane being hurt, I think that's also changes stuff up. But the back end is a challenge. Now, the guys you're talking about, they are bottom pairing D-men right now. I have no reason to believe Emerson's not more than a bottom pairing defenseman. Same with Stetcher. Same with, all these guys, Josh Brown, all these guys we've talked about. But they have to get him in and play them. So I'm guessing one of the two other guys, maybe Sketch or Rev, will get it because they move the puck well, and they're going to just get the puck up and get skating, get the puck up and get skating. But I think when the trade happens, we'll be surprised. I really think it'll be like, whoa, what just happened? All of a sudden they have whomever to fill that spot.
Nice use of the word whomever. That was solid English.
Nailed it.
I would have had you pegged for a whoever guy, but no, that was advanced of you. Okay, first show, we're already way over time. So that'll do it for our breakdown, brought to you by Alberta Ram Dealers. When we come back, Brownie points, the first one of the year, the first Struddy's World of the year. Struddy, are we doing hockey or are we going off the rails with the first one?
Let's just say I'm setting the tone for what is coming the rest of the year. So buckle up.
Oh, interesting. Okay, and then we'll check in with Bruce Kierlock as well out at the Oiler rookie tournament in Penticton. So tons more to come here on Got Your Back, presented by our title sponsor, Play Alberta.
At Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at secolandentistry.com.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good. Baby, we back. Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products, locations in Calgary and in Edmonton. Whether you're a homeowner, a contractor, or a builder, DLR is the most reliable source for vinyl fence. Opened back in 2005. They're not going anywhere. Unmatched service, high quality, North American made products. Visit DLRvinylproducts.ca or give them a call. My brother runs the branch in Calgary. You can ask him about his hole-in-one. Struddy, set the tone, buddy. Set the tone.
I get that we're trying to evolve as people and as the world. We want things to change, to keep updating, but there are certain things that shouldn't change. When I go to a concert, let's say, for instance, Metallica. I went and saw Metallica. And I worked it more than watched it, but I was there. Same thing with Pink. And it's great to see these amazing acts and bands that I've known for a long time. I want to hear them, want to see them song. But you know what? At the end of the day, I do want to see, I want to see an encore. I don't want you to play all your best songs and just walk off the stage with anything. I want them to walk off the stage after singing for a long time, then me start chanting one more song. And then they come back on, they're like, yeah, I want to hear one more. You're damn right, I want to hear one more. And then they fire it up and all of a sudden hear the Enter Sandman or whatever song, Pink wants to crank out. I just don't understand, where has the encore gone? It seems like it's dead. People don't want to do it anymore. And honestly, guys, I think that the world is worse off without the encore. Bring back the encore, I say. I want to be inspired one last time.
Which concert was it? Metallica didn't have an encore?
Neither Pink or Metallica.
Seriously?
Luke Combs didn't have it. I've seen a lot of, I go to these ones at Common, and like I said, I kind of volunteer at, so I'm watching, running security in a kissing booth / same time. And either way, there's no encores. No one has encores anymore.
I'm disappointed in that too. That is bad. You got to have an encore. Although, actually, I was at Folk Fest this year, and Robert Plant and Alison Krauss were the final act. They came out and did an encore.
Oh,
and it was pretty cool. And we all were chanting one more song.
Guys, I'm not a fan of it. I would rather a band end with the song everybody wants to hear. I would rather they say thank you very much, and give their appreciation to the crowd, play that song, thank you, and be gone. And that's just it. And you're all left sitting there like, that was amazing. The whole sitting there waiting. Are they going to? Are they not? Then they come back out. The guy's got to tune his guitar again and all this crap. It's just, you're tired. It's probably time to get going anyways. I just wrap it up, get it done. Struddy, I'm not with you in any way, shape, or form here. I'm not a fan of the encore.
You know what? They're not looing you right now. They're booing you right now, Rishaug, because everybody loves an encore. I'm 100%. This is twice today. You got to have the encore. I love chanting one more song. Everybody chants together. You're all best friends, high-fiving. And when they come out on the stage, you're hugging people. And then they sing the best song. So I'm 100% for the encore.
When you're sitting there chanting one more song and they don't come out, like it's just a letdown. Now the whole night, is it like, just remove the expectation, play all your best stuff, wave to the crowd, and walk off, Struds.
Knowing that you celebrate a hole-in-one from the family tees, I'm not surprised to hear you don't like an encore. Everyone loves the encore, because let me share this experience with you. You go and there's maybe a couple songs they haven't played. We start the one more song. Everyone's getting excited. Then they come out and you hear just maybe like one strum of a guitar. And then maybe the drum starts going and people are going crazy. You want to talk about bring the emotion up? Shug, you're the kind of guys goes a hockey game and it gets to the playoffs and it's overtime. You're like, you know what? It's too late. I got to go home. I want to beat the rush. I got to get home before the overtime starts. That's who you and your buddies are with your short one. I
did walk out of a Major League Baseball Blue Jays playoff game after 4 innings in Dallas. I will admit to having done that. What do we got here on the stream? Quaddy says Shogger sits through the whole concert. Boo, Ryan, I disagree. The encore is epic, says Emmer. Todd Gack says Shogger sits on his lava seat quietly.
I brought this one in from Obelisk. The problem is that the encore has become so cliche that it's part of the show. That's the problem with me too. Everyone, I like it. I want the encore too, but I don't like that it's like everyone's just taking their cues from, do we keep clapping? The lights are still dark. Oh, the lights came on. Okay, see ya. Everybody stop. Like that's it. Here. That's the part of it I don't like, but I do love the encore.
Yeah, Obelisk 21, when a band leaves the stage and doesn't turn up the house lights, you know that they know they're coming back out. At that point, you were just stroking egos as a fan. Yammer says, great analogy, Struddy. I don't remember which analogy you made, but I'm sure it wasn't that great. Yeah, okay, mixed results on this. Metallica was awesome, was so hot out. Didn't they? I heard there were some nights, though, there were some people that went to Metallica and never got to hear Nothing Else Matters because they didn't play it in each of the concerts. How do you not play Nothing Else Matters for every damn money-paying fan?
2 different playlists both night. Yeah. That's incredible.
I would have been so sour had I
No,
gone
you would have
and not
you
heard
would have
Nothing
left
Else
before
Matters.
they sang it anyways.
Yeah, once sun goes down, too late. Old Uncle Shogger's got to get home.
You're a donkey. All right, that was Struddy's World, the first one of the year. We're off to a great start, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. And with that, we transition into Rob Brown gets a spotlight for a few minutes with Brownie Points. And our great friends at Hamel's Premium Jerky are back. Need a unique idea for your team or your school's next fundraiser? They can help you help your organization raise money by customizing a variety of options of their world-famous jerky, over 13 flavors and an all-new jerky and pepperoni bundle. It's amazing. So Randy and I were in Cold Lake, met the whole crew at Hamel's. Guys, phenomenal. This new jerky pepperoni stuff they have going is absolutely off the charts. Got to get some into your guys' hands, Brownie.
Oh, I look forward to trying that out. I got brownie points for the first time this year. Let's start with 170 brownie points to Leon Draisaitl, because if he plays all 82 games, he will be making $170 plus $1,000 per game. So 170 brownie points to Leon Draisaitl. 105 brownie points to the Edmonton Oilers, because it's going to take at least that many games for them to get back to a Stanley Cup final clinching game. So 105 is the minimum it's going to take for the Oilers to get back to win a Stanley Cup. 107 brownie points to the Oilers fans, because it is going to be 107 days between Game 7 disappointment and the Game 1 opener in October, when we will all have renewed hope. Huh?
Someone had their calendar out today counting.
I did. It was on my phone. I had to count a couple times just to make sure. And those numbers both could be wrong. And number 4, 1,006 brownie points to Jeff Skinner, who is the most excited Edmonton Oiler, because right now he has played 1,006 NHL games. He is yet to play in the playoffs. Hopefully after 1,088 this year, Jeff Skinner will see his first ever playoff hockey game in the National Hockey League. And the last one, and for the first time this year, I am taking brownie points away. Minus 39 brownie points to my good buddy, Jason Strudwick, for being 39 minutes late for our charity luncheon. So, Struds, you are starting in the hole. You are minus 39 for showing up late when we were meeting with a bunch of very good people who purchased a luncheon with us, and you didn't show up.
Yeah, our amazing friends over at UCAN Youth Services, our proud charitable partner, at their main fundraiser, the comedy night, they auctioned off big lunch. Me, Brownie, Jack Michaels was there. Struds was going to be there. And yeah, Struds, 39 minutes late, you strolled into a charity luncheon. What say you?
I went to the wrong place. I went to Joey Tomatoes downtown.
Joey's.
I had a hard time finding a place to park, and then I drive back, and I listen. I owned it. I completely was wrong. I owe you guys 39 minutes.
Well, of course you owned it. What are you supposed to do? Walk in and go, it's not my fault?
I can make an excuse, like I had a flat tire or whatever. I was flexing in a picture for Hamel's beef jerky, like you were, Shogger. Whatever it was, like I could have made up.
Oh, but the funniest part though is I sent a text to our group text. I'm running behind. I'm going to be 2 minutes late, and you send in the group text, last person there buys lunch for everyone. If you're late, you're paying for everyone.
You did not buy lunch.
And then you're 39 minutes late. I did not see your credit card come out at all.
Zuby, can you bring in Todd's comment there? That's a fantastic one. Todd Gack over on the Weiss Johnson YouTube chat says he had a couple of shelf showings. Couldn't make it.
Guys, I have a lot of offers on the table. This will get done before the Oilers season. I'll have these things sold. $30.
Brownie with a dagger in his first episode of Brownie Points. I would go back to the comments here, but all anybody's asking for is an encore for Struddy's World. Everybody wants another Struddy's World before we shut her down tonight, Struds. How do you feel about that? Or is your work
according
done
to Brownie,
for the night?
if the Oilers have to play 104 games, that means we probably have about 130 or 140 of these. So I'll maybe lay on some high notes and some low notes. There'll be a few dogs in there for sure.
Good stuff. Brownie, we're going to let you slide, buddy. Enjoy shutting down. Look forward to seeing you for some golf in a couple of days, and we'll talk soon, buddy.
Sound good. Have fun, guys.
All right. The great Rob Brown. Still plenty ahead on the show, including Bruce Kurlock from the Oilers prospects camp happening in Penticton. Tons more still ahead. Brownie doesn't know how to exit. We got new software this year, so are you stuck?
I don't even know what I'm doing now. I've got front camera on my thing. There's no X. I'll just stay and watch the show.
You just stuck?
I don't want to look at those curtains anymore. Buy some new curtains.
I'm at a different. I don't know how to get out. I'm pushing every button.
I can leave this up here. I can just kick him in the break. I can boot you, bro.
Get out of here, Brownie. We'll be back.
Back.
You're watching Got Your Back, presented
With
by...
over 18 years in the industry, Kelly Zaretsky and her team at Blue Summit Accounting deliver client-focused solutions and financial guidance for success in a simple and comfortable way. Whether it's for corporate or personal needs, Blue Summit Accounting can help with taxes, estate planning, financial services, bookkeeping, and more. Get in touch today. Email bluesummitacct@gmail.com or call 780-416-9662.
Look at these animations. Struddy, I think Zuby gets the Relentless Player of the Summer tonight, buddy. Look at the production value he's pumped into this show. Welcome back to Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta. It is time for our takeaways segment, brought to you by one of our newest partners, Horizon Ag and Turf. Might not be a name you're familiar with just yet, but I'm sure you've heard of Martin Deerline and Agland. Well, the two John Deere dealerships merged together this past summer to better serve their clients. Now they got 13 locations all across Alberta. Visit them for all your equipment needs. You can find them online. Horizon Ag Turf. That's horizonagturf.com. Welcome to Got Your Back to our great friends over at Horizon. And welcome to Bruce Kurlock, who is in Penticton at the Oiler Rookie Tournament. He writes about Oiler prospects over at OilerNation.com. Bruce, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm awesome, man. We're happy to be back. We took a couple months off over the summer, and we started a little bit later this year. But, after Game 7 of a Cup final and a super busy summer, we're just super pumped to be back. Like it was a short summer, hey, for everybody, but there's buzz around this Oiler team, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys didn't get much of the summer, and it wasn't due to your own, making, right? The Oilers kept you guys on your toes all summer.
Yeah, there was definitely lots to talk about. They kept us busy, but Draisaitl got done. That was the big one. And so for the next few days here, and the last couple of days, and then tomorrow, the focus is on some of the prospects that are playing in the tournament out there. The Oilers have played a couple of games. I believe they've dropped them both, right? 2-0 to the Vancouver Canuck prospects, and then 3-1 loss to Calgary. You're down there covering it. What would you say when it comes to players of interest that the headline would be through a couple of games, Bruce?
On the individual side, I think it's obviously all about Matthew Savoie, right? There's only really two players here that would have any type of potential impact on the Oilers in the next, call it 12 months. He's one, Max Wanner's the other. And Savoie, he started slow. The first game was pretty quiet. We can talk a little bit about what their prospect structure has been here in terms of defense, and that's been a big story. But the last game against Calgary, he was dynamite. He was the best player on the ice for either team. He looked legitimate NHL caliber. He's not ready yet. He's smaller. He's going to play right wing. He's played a lot of center. so he's going to take time. But from an offensive standpoint, he has a lot of qualities you'd like if you're Edmonton Oilers management, for sure.
What about Max on the back? And you touched on him a little bit, and obviously there may be opportunity here at some point for a youngish D-man to jump in there.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Struds, he reminds me actually a little bit of you, to be entirely honest. He's in a good way.
Too much pressure, Bruce.
No, on him, you got it.
That's almost like Mac T and the Justin Schultz Norris Trophy thing. That's basically at the same level.
You're ruining this guy, Bruce.
No, I'm not at all. He's big, strong kid, competitive, makes you pay when you come anywhere near his area. I really think right shot, obviously, which is I think a big thing in this organization right now. Is he ready? I would say no. Is he ready in January? In a 6-7 role, 5-6. You probably don't want him as 7, but 5-6 role maybe. Skating has a little bit of work that I would like to see him do. Here, he's been a man on an island. The Oilers, unfortunately, had an injury to Bo Akey, so Akey is here skating, but he's not playing, and that's meant that they've had 6 camp invites. No disrespect to any of those kids. They're playing their hearts out, but, the caliber of this tournament it's a step up for all of them. And so Warner has really been, I wrote today, it's kind of a tale of 2 games, right? When Warner's on the ice for the Oilers and when he's not. When he's on the ice, they look like a competitive team, able to transition, create offense. And when he's not on the ice, it's a challenge. He looks good, though. I just think he needs a little more time.
Oilers hopped up late in the first round and took Sam O'Reilly out of London, the Ontario Hockey League. What's your early sense?
Boy, I'll tell you, so first of all, a defenseman, right? Until he was 16 years old. And now he's playing, no Strudwick, Jason's really going to like this, but he's now probably playing arguably the hardest position at center. I'm sorry. But, quite a transition, right? He's a very young 18-year-old. So, he's essentially played center for 2 years. Rookie in the OHL last year, and you can see it in his game. He's very defensively responsible, thinks the game well from that side of the puck. I actually wrote and said, if there was one guy you could count on playing NHL games of a significant quantity, say 200, he's probably it, just because he understands the game so well from that side. The offensive side of the game, that's the part that needs to develop, right? That's where you need to see the pop. So that, he can come in and instead of spotting in on a 4-fine or something like that, you start to see him push into a 3C type role somewhere down the line. He's very young. First game, a little overwhelmed, probably getting a feel for the pace. I thought the second game was much better, and particularly the last half of the second game, he and Savoy have really found a lot of chemistry together.
And the last guy before we, Struddy, before we let you go here, Bruce, is Carl Berglund, who is kind of some eyebrows raised when the Oilers grabbed him. What are your thoughts so far? Scored a goal, I think, right?
Yeah, scored their own goal. He's a left shot center. That's what he would play at any level. Smart player, good in face-offs. But he's really a bottom end of the roster style player, and his skating is the challenge. I like him as a player. I'm just not quite sure the skating will get him all the way where he needs to be.
Struddy, anything else?
No, I just want to. I took note of your note about William Nickel. And maybe a bit of when I see you talk about high end motor, that really piques my interest. So highlight his play.
So I really like him. He again a very late pick of the Oilers, kind of a creative pick by them in a sense because he played in a really stacked London Knights team last year, and so didn't get a lot of minutes because he's really a natural center. He's a bit slight, but he is a natural center. And of course, that team was quite loaded, so he didn't see a lot of ice time. Young 18-year-old, and so he got drafted late because he didn't really have a lot of results. And then he comes. I really liked him in the playoffs in the OHL and the Memorial Cup. And then he comes here, and even I think he's maybe listed 170 pounds, but his feet are constantly going. He never stops on the wall. He never gets pinned. He understands how to leverage himself away from physical battles. He's got that little, and it's not the same, don't hold me to it, but he's got that little Connor McDavid style of skating where it's constant crossovers in directions, two this way, two that way, and great hip mobility. He's always moving. He's you could project him kind of in the bottom end of your lineup as a penalty killer, kind of a shutdown little player past. I don't know that the offense will get there, but it might. But I really like him. He's constant motor going. And again, in this tournament, these guys, he's a young 18-year-old, and they're playing kids on some of these rosters 24 years old, right? So this is a real challenge for those guys for the first time in their career. They're going to play guys that aren't only 2 or 3 years older than him, but 5 or 6 years older.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, listen, I was Struddy. I was trying to convince Bruce to take a fee for joining us here on the show tonight, but he absolutely refused and instead said, please donate it to a charity of your choice. So Bruce, here on the podcast, our charitable partner is You Can Use Services. And if you've listened to the pod before, you'll know that we pick a relentless player of the night here on the show. So I think I know who it's going to be, I think in your first answer, but we're going to give relentless player to you since we're going to make a donation on your behalf for the show tonight. You Can Use Service, an Edmonton charity, relentless in helping youth age 16 to 24 get out of harm's way and find employment. Visit youcan.ca to see how your donation can change lives right here in our community. So if you were to pick a relentless player of camp for the Oilers, Savoy, I'm thinking?
It'd be Savoy for sure, but I'm going to mention another name just as a kind of runner-up, and that would be Connor Clattenburg.
The scrapper.
This pick was universally panned a little bit, right? Not a lot known about the young man, and I didn't know much about him, but boy, I'll tell you, he is courageous. He plays the game hard. He goes 100 miles an hour, and he is afraid of nobody. And he's had 2 great games. I would be Matt Savoy.
That's awesome.
If you want to pick a runner-up, Connor Clattenburg's right there.
So from Flint to the OHL, and when I say scrapper, I don't mean that's what he does, but he got into scrap, did he not, in the last game?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he fought Parker Bell. It was good. He knows how to throw him for sure.
Good stuff. Right on, Bruce. Yeah. Well, listen, man, where people can find your stuff at OilerNation.com, and I know you're basically filing every single day there while you're there, and then you'll be filing there as well throughout the year.
Yes, sir. You got it.
All right. And then at B Curlock on Twitter as well. He's a great follow. Bruce, you do a great job covering the Oilers as well. Hey, the team inside out and backwards, so I'll get you to weigh in real quick. The fellas and I were discussing the blue line and if it could be prohibitive in the early going here to them being as good as this team wants to be and probably should be. What's your level of urgency to add on the blue line, in particular the right side, do you think, in the early going?
Oh, it's pretty low, to be honest. My sense of this, a lot of this is for some of us anyways, it's PTSD to the start of last year. And when I look at what happened at the start of last year, a lot of that was goaltending. No disrespect, we had some goaltending issues. A lot of it was bad luck, and a lot of it was penalty kill. You can't do anything about luck. Luck is luck. I mean, I think you earn luck, but let's just say that, I mean, they had outplayed some teams and just didn't get results. They clearly have solved, or at least as the year ended, had solved the penalty kill woes. And I think that's a big help for them. And it looks like goaltending is much more stabilized. So I really think I would be inclined to run this out a little bit, see how this roster shakes out for the first, again, you're not playing Dallas and Florida for 14 straight games, right? No disrespect to some of these teams are going to play. They get some opportunity here to shake it out, I think, a little bit. And so I would wait till Christmas. I would wait till U.S. Thanksgiving anyways before I started to make some tough decisions about what to do.
Right on. We will see how it goes. Bruce, thanks so much for your time, my friend. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Awesome,
and
buddy.
congratulations on the 4th year. Look forward to hearing lots of good stuff from you guys. Did we figure out which
much
name
appreciated.
it is? Is it Ryan, Jason, Rob, or is it Rob, Jason, Ryan? Did we decide which way it was going to get posted?
I think we all know. I think we all know what we want. People have spoken.
The people have spoken. I
Zuby
love it.
just
Okay.
Zuby put it in a randomizer and it popped out Rishaug, Strudwick, Brown. So really it was just a randomizer. But thanks for stirring that up in episode 1. Bruce. Appreciate it. Come back again real soon, pal.
Yeah, I love it, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. Bruce Kirlock from Penticton and prospects writer over at OilersNation.com. All right, great stuff. That was our takeaway segment. And that was brought to you by Horizon Ag and Turf. All right, when we come back, ask us anything. Your chance to hop in on the stream. We'll check in on the YouTube poll, see what the results are. So still lots here. Zuby, do we have a commercial? Am I doing it again?
We do,
have
yeah.
a commercial?
No, we got one.
We do have a commercial? What?
Yep, we got a commercial.
We do? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be right back to wrap up episode 1 here on Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta. Roll a commercial!
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
Look at this, Zuby. Wow. If you're only watching or if you're only listening in podcast form, you got to get to YouTube or Twitter and check out all the work that Zuby has done on the look of this show. Welcome back to Got Your Back.
Trying to push Alberta. People to YouTube.
Bravo, Zuby. Bravo, buddy. Hey, Struddy. It has been sharp tonight.
Yeah, he's killing it. Absolutely killing it in there.
Want to know? We're made it to the last. We're into the last segment here, so
yeah, don't count.
This is like me with a 3-goal lead in the third period, right? No problem.
No issue. What could go wrong? Time now for Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. With recent news of the Bank of Canada lowering rates, now's a great time to revisit your mortgage options. If you need to renew your mortgage, don't just sign those papers. Maria Gallus with Maximal Mortgages can take care of finding you the best rates and work with your best interests in mind. Contact Maria today at mortgagesbymaria.ca for all of your mortgage needs. Randine and I use Maria. We have for years. She does a fantastic job. Highly recommend it. She takes great care of you, and she's smart, man. You can hear her pounding numbers on the old keyboard in the background, and she's just always got the answers. So Maria was part of the podcast last year, but this year now a big part, sponsoring some episodes of Ask Us Anything. Zuby, let's hand it over to you, buddy. Rock and roll. We've had a nice active stream here on the first night.
And I added Steve and I. We get to take this space in the middle now because we're going to put the bring the questions up on the screen like this. So this is from McFo Seidel, and he says, thoughts on management and Coach Knobloch being in Penticton at the Young Stars tourney. I don't know how big of a deal that. I just know that has been mentioned. Is it compared to the other teams? Is that a bigger showing of coaching and management than the other teams have been showing? And what's your thought on that?
Okay, I'll take this.
Yep.
What I see is that, Knobloch won't know these players. He doesn't know them. And you're going to get in training camp, you get them for a little bit, and then they're gone and they're in the minors or wherever. I think if I was a head coach, I'd want to see them play in different situations. So at least I can start forming in my mind what they may or could be. And he won't be necessarily developing them, but when they arrive, he has a better sense of what they are. So I think it's a really proactive move. And I don't know if that's why he's doing it, Schauger, but I like the idea of getting a catalog on these players that could be helping me, whether Savoy or Warner or just go down the list.
All hands on deck. When it comes to developing prospects, when it comes to developing your most important assets, this organization has no choice but to be all hands on deck because they've been moving out tons of young talent. Draft capital is at a minimum, right? We saw they made 3 different hirings in the last week, all of those with development in mind and scouting in mind. It's got to be all hands on deck. That's the general manager, that's the head coach, that's the entire staff. And so this tournament is where their prospects gather to start their journey. And it needs to be everybody all hands on deck, taking some responsibility for developing talent. And I think that's the way that it should be. So I don't know, maybe Stan Bowman would have done it that way anyways. Maybe Chris Knobloch would have always intended to be there for the entire thing. We don't know what they would have done. But to me, this is absolutely the right thing to do. And it's about an organization that needs to recognize they've made some mistakes with developing some of their players and handling and bringing them in and transitioning them to the NHL and keeping them. And so it starts all hands on deck at prospects camp.
Okay, Spicy Pepito says, my biggest concern is how's our PK going to look like? Would Podkolzin possibly play there?
He'll be in tight to find room on that PK strategy. They brought everybody back pretty much. Like, in terms of forwards, man. Oh,
I'm not sure I'm liking the spice from Spicy Pepito. Why? Where is he being tongue in cheek? I don't really know where he fits. Like, he's not getting power play and he's not getting, I think it'd be unlikely he gets penalty killing time. So, for him, the ice time is going to be a challenge, right? And he's got to figure out, and maybe go and talk to the coach, say, give me a chance in the penalty kill, man. But you look at some of the guys they already have in there.
Janmark, Henrique, Brown, Nuge, Derek Ryan. I mean, maybe like Fogle and McLeod are out of the mix, right? And those guys had some of their time. So
there's
maybe
a lot of talk
they're looking for that. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
they're looking for that 6th forward, and maybe a couple of guys will be in the mix for that. So I don't know. We'll see if he has that pedigree or not. But certainly
kill?
What's that?
Arvidsson, is he a killer?
Yeah. I think so. Actually, you know what? I'll check that. Go ahead and move on to the next question.
And this is the only reason is that if there's not a lot of power play time, you got to feed him, right? He needs ice time too. So Paul Colson is unfortunately going to have, I think, a challenge to get on either specialty teams. Yep. Maybe I'll be wrong.
Okay, Gomez says, I hope this D doesn't kill Skinner's confidence early. Is that a concern at all? Is that a concern? The goaltending situation is going to be completely different. It's hard to remember that they still even started with Jack Campbell in the mix at the start of last season. It's going to be completely different this year. Does the depth of the D concern you as it relates to Stuart Skinner's confidence, Struddy?
I believe that Stuart Skinner is moving into a different part of his career where now he doesn't necessarily have to be the guy that, is looking for confidence from others, but he breathes confidence into other players. This player has played 7 playoff rounds. Was it 7? Last year was 6 playoff rounds in the last 2 years. This team has, 9 playoff rounds in the last 3 years. The core of this team understands what it takes, what it looks like, what it feels like to be really good and to be really bad, right? If we want to talk about the beginning of last year. So I think Skinner's now at the point where I think that he understands how to manage his own emotions and he can help others be better at their jobs too.
Just following up, Arvidsson, 1 second of power play or penalty killing time on average.
Doesn't sound like
game,
a lot,
so
then.
not
a lot.
Like there's a lot of time. Similar to Struddy's power play stats, we might suggest.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Yeah, no, on Skinner, different setup for Skinner too this year. He doesn't have Jack Campbell sitting there. Who's it going to be, right? Remember, Campbell got the start opening night after Campbell was better in exhibition season. This will be a bit of a different setup. This is Skinner's net all day long. So I'll be interested to see how Stuart Skinner does. It's clearly his, as it should be, right from the word go. And we'll see if he leans into that and if there's wobbles in his confidence or if he's kind of through that now.
All right, Todd Gack, I think that's a Dutch name, as we've established before, says, do you think Jackson regrets going shopping with a credit card? The early stages of free agency and the trickle-down effect that may have had in some of the other moves.
I don't know. Do we feel like he was spending? I mean, I thought he stood pat and got guys in at pretty good deals. Struds, like, I mean, they didn't jump at Henrique too early. They held out, let them test the market, see what else was out there. They ended up, remember, we broke that on the pod that night. Happened last minute. So I don't know. I don't feel like he went bonkers. Do you?
No, he kind of went shopping, and on that day, like I go to Eddie Bauer, I get last season's clothes on sale in the discount, the clearance bin, right? And he got a lot of good value for it. I don't believe he overpaid for anybody. Let's look at Skinner, Arvidsson, Brown, like Henrique. Can we say any of those are overpays or on term or money? I don't think so. So I think he felt he was going to get those two young guys done with the numbers that was left, and it didn't work out. So now they pivot. So is the organization stronger without them? No, I don't think they are. But it does afford them the freedom now to add what is required. But long term, it may prove that hurts them long term with two young players not in their organization anymore.
I mean, Todd makes the point that Skinner basically comes in. Holloway would have pushed for minutes on that line potentially. And with that Skinner deal, the money wasn't necessarily there to make sure that Holloway got locked up. The Perry deal, like, what do you think? Did they need to do Perry at 1.1 again? Did you feel this group needs Corey Perry again this upcoming season? I mean, we'll see what he has left in the tank and what he can give them, Struds. But they have some things here that you could argue, did they have to do that? They got a lot of players in, but I don't necessarily view any of it as like costly overspending.
No, long term they'll miss those two young players. But look, the thing with Perry is that Chris Knobloch valued him, right? They have a conversation with the coach. Do you think this is important to have this guy around? And he's going to help. And then you're looking for a guy like Corey Perry towards the trade deadline. So I'd like to have Holloway and Broberg on this team. I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't, but you still have to recognize that they're not. And so the short term, I don't think it's going to hurt them too bad. Long term, yes, I believe it will.
All right, let's do one more, Zuby.
Okay, I got a good one. But before that, quickly, did you guys see Corey Perry on Friday Night SmackDown? Did you see his appearance?
Well, we know you did. We certainly know you did.
Of course I did. Yeah, that was a good little cat. They usually just show, like, those athletes that are there don't get involved that often. So that was really cool that he did. Okay, so with this new setup tonight, I'm actually getting some comments coming in from Twitter, or X, as I believe it's now known.
Really? So that we can do that now?
It might be just someone comment. Like, I don't know if we have full comments in the stream, but it might be just someone responding to the stream. Anyway, this person came in a couple times, and this is a very good question. Lemonade's hubby from Twitter says, do you guys think age will be an issue this year? Oldest team in the league, maybe some load management days?
Yeah, you might see that, I guess, depending towards the end of the year, especially if players have nagging injuries. I think you got to look at guys like Perry, Henrique, Derek Ryan, like those kind of guys. They really drag the average age up. And the fact that the Oilers don't have a ton of youth, and youth being Holloway and Broberg, that brings that average up quite a bit. So I think towards the end of the season, if they're in a good spot and they feel that some guys have nicked up, I think you will see them sit out. But hockey players want to play, man. I didn't know too many players that didn't want to play every night.
Yeah, Zuby, looks like there are some comments that can happen on Twitter here. I can see a couple.
Did you see a couple from that person, Lemonade's hubby? I definitely saw.
No, I just don't know if you can go back and look at them. That's
you know what?
Dennis from Weiss Johnson. I said testing in the stream, and I think that's Dennis saying working. So thanks, Dennis, for that.
I got, from X, Weiss-Johnson, did I miss my jingle? I thought that was somebody actually on the YouTube stream.
He's on Zuby, let's hit the jingle for him. So, Dennis, here you go, buddy, since you're sitting down.
Weiss Johnson,
Love you, buddy. Thrilled to have Weiss Johnson, one of the originals, back on the podcast for season number 4. Yep.
Could have been a riot if we didn't have the jingle. I mean, I think that's people were talking about.
It would have been a riot. We did have it though. We did have it earlier.
Oh yeah, we did. One other thing I wanted to bring up here quickly. Calvin Best said, biggest question of the offseason, what did Struddy knit this offseason? Happy you guys are back, Go Oilers. Lots of people with lots of welcome back messages, but there were a couple questions about knitting. What did you knit? I think Todd Gack asked if the scarf is complete yet, the rally scarf.
Yeah, as soon as the season was over, I stopped knitting. I was golfing quite a bit. So no knitting in the summer. I'll pick it up again once we see the leaves start to fall.
By the way, I'm not doing it tonight, but I do have a confession to make, and I will wait until next episode to bring people back.
That's called a cliffhanger.
It might be more embarrassing than Struds in his knitting, is what I will say. Well, it might be more embarrassing.
I'm not embarrassed by it.
See, never mind. It won't be, because at least I know what I'm doing is embarrassing. I've taken up a hobby that I know is more embarrassing than knitting. So that's coming up next episode. That was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria Gallus. Give her a call if you need to have any mortgage work done at all. All right, let's wrap up the show. Want to say a huge welcome to another brand new sponsor, Gallery Dental. From air polisher cleanings to advanced treatments, Gallery Dental offers a full range of services designed to keep your smile healthy and beautiful. Their experienced team dedicated to providing personalized care with the latest technology to make sure that you get the best treatment possible. Contact gallerydental.yeg.com. They take care of you. If you are a nervous dental patient, which I am, they take great care of you, and they take great pride in doing that. So welcome to Gallery Dental, to the show. Struddy, what do we got for play of the day, my man, other than Zuby's entire day? Zuby's entire day is the play of the day.
He's had a great day, but I am a little bit still in football mode. I'm in fantasy world, and I want to give a shout out to Kyler Murray, who just takes apart the Rams today. Absolutely, him and Marvin Harrison, a young rookie. Marvin Harrison Jr., I should say. Kyler Murray, QB of the Arizona Cardinals. Shout out to Tom Gazzola. Had an absolutely awesome day, and just a big dominant win over that group.
Why are we shouting out Tom? How did Tom get a shout out on our
That's
show?
his team. That's his team.
Okay. That's his group.
Yeah, that's his team. No, not group. Team. It's not a mixer, not a reading group, buddy. It's a football team.
Probably have Tom on the show at some point this year. Hey, I think maybe.
I'd love to. Does Dental Gallery specialize in soft teeth like yours? Is there any?
It's Gallery Dental, first of all, and yes, if you were a person that had an issue with soft teeth, which I am not, they would be able to help you with that as well. They take care of all your dental needs with care, Struds.
We've chronicled that on the show. You do have it, and you've admitted to it. The soft teeth.
That's why he has to eat cashews, right? Isn't that something like that?
Yeah, well, let's not get into the whole reason, but yes, he does have it. So go see our buddies.
Zuby, do we have any sound effect? Do we have an applause sound effect anywhere? I thought I had one on my board. I was going to play you an applause sound effect. But
I do, but you know what? I don't know what it's going to do to the theme here when I do it. Let's try.
Where is it? Hang on a second. Do I have an applause? There you go, Zuby. That's for you, buddy.
Oh, thanks, Paul.
Great job tonight, buddy. You killed it this summer. Knocked it out of the park in episode number 1. Look forward to 135, 140 or so more this year, buddy.
One clean, one down. Good start.
Yeah.
Great job, my man. And thanks to all of you for joining us live on the YouTube stream, live on Twitter, or if you've downloaded us and you're watching or listening to us in podcast form. We're super fired up to be back. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, including our very proud new title sponsor, Play Alberta. Going to drop a couple more podcasts this week. I'll get it confirmed, but likely Tuesday night. So got your back, coming back. 4 episodes a week strong once we really get rocking and rolling. And we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great night, everybody.